Gymnastics Championships. They are piling into the Fort Worth Convention Center. This is, without a doubt, the hottest ticket in town in Fort Worth this weekend. A huge crowd on hand as we get set for semifinal number 2. Earlier today, in semifinal number 1, UCLA and LSU advance from those 4 teams till tomorrow night's final championship event. Hi everybody, I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark, my fellow Olympic medalist. Holly Rowe is on our coverage as well tonight. Now today's semifinal number 1 was a thriller. 4 great teams, but because of the new format, there was even more tension than we anticipated.
And we expected more intensity there, but to actually feel that layer of tension added with only 2 teams advancing, it was palpable.
All right, now in this session, this features of course the Oklahoma Sooners. They've been dominant all season long. Why are they so good, Kathy?
There are so many reasons why they are so good. During the off season and during season, they focus on every single aspect of gymnastics. The fitness, the power, putting in the numbers to constantly bring their consistent, clean gymnastics into competition. Of course, they have the great Maggie Nichols, defending all-around champion from last year.
All 4 of these teams in this semifinal have some interesting headlines as well.
Yes, that .0375, that tiny fraction has driven an already great team to push each other to be even better. And Denver, they have that team of destiny feel. It has been a dream season, and they want to wake up tomorrow on the final floor. And the younger dogs, yes, they could be considered the underdogs, but there's so much talent there. If they just get their confidence up, I think they can pull it out. And Cinderella team, Oregon State, they took advantage of the struggles by Florida and found themselves at the ball.
More great teams, and of course, all of these teams have some individual superstars as well, Kathy.
Spectacular Maggie Nichols, and she has battled. She's been tough, going through some knee injuries. And Lindsey Brown of Denver, Sabrina Vega, absolutely gorgeous on her specialty events, and Isis Lowry, you're in for a treat.
So the stage is set for semifinal number 2. Only 2 of 4 teams will advance to tomorrow night's finals. It's going to be thrilling. You're not going to want to miss it.
The NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championships is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here.
Welcome to the Fort Worth Convention Center. It's a 2019 NCAA Gymnastics Championships semifinal number 2. I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark, and let's go down to the 3rd member of our broadcast team, the incomparable Holly Rowe.
Thank you, Bart. For the Oklahoma Sooners, last year was devastating. They lost in the national championship by the slimmest possible margin, .0375. That became the hashtag. Every training session, they would yell at each other, talking about what they had lost and how they never wanted to feel that way again. But midway through the season, their focus completely changed. The beloved husband of their athletic trainer, Jennifer Richardson, was diagnosed with colon cancer. After a difficult fight, he passed away. The team was able to visit him in the hospital just days before his death, and he was actually giving them a pep talk. They called him Coach Rich, the father of 5, and his inspiration was to live with courage, strength, faith, and family. Those are the words he wanted to share with this team. So they said their focus completely changed on what they'd lost to how they want to live. And that fighting spirit is here with Oklahoma tonight. You will see through their uniforms, on the backs of their necks, the new hashtag, the new focus. Do it for Dave. They want to compete tonight with the courage, strength, faith, and family that he inspired them to compete with.
Thank you, Holly, for that emotional and important story. Okay, here are the rules at the National Championships. 4 apparatus will run simultaneously. 6 gymnasts per team compete on each apparatus. Just the top 5 scores count towards their team total. Now, there are 6 judges on each event. In this competition, you drop the high and low scores, and you average the remaining 4 scores. Top 2 high team scores will advance to the finals tomorrow. And a quick reminder that you can watch every routine on the ESPN app. Each apparatus has its own channel, plus the all-around channel where you can see all 4 apparatus at once. And so there is the all-around channel right there. Commentator for vault is Olympian Alicia Sacramone Quinn. On bars is Olympian Bridget Sloan. On beam is Olympian Samantha Pesic. And on floor is Olympian John Roethlisberger. So 6 Olympians in total on your coverage tonight on ESPN. And we're off to a great start.
Look at that. Nicole Lehrman up in your top left-hand corner on the vault, starting Oklahoma. off with a stick and a 1.5 twist at that.
Oklahoma's on vault in this first rotation. Georgia on the bars, Denver on the beam, Oregon State on the floor.
And on bars, this is such an important event for Georgia. This young team needs to start off strong. Then they're pretty good at staying in the fight. This has been their challenging event all season long.
Talk about this young team. There are 9 freshmen on the Georgia team, only 1 senior.
Megan Roberts finishing really strong for Georgia with a stuck landing on the bars. Lindsey Brown on beam for Denver.
Lindsey, of course, one of their all-around stars, and Maddie Dagan for Oregon State on floor here in the first rotation. Oregon State was only ranked 15th in the country based on their season averages. However, they had a superb event at home in the regional final, and they upset Florida to make it to these nationals.
And it was on floor that they clinched it. They stayed tough all the way through the rotation.
We go to vault now for the Sooners. Anastasia Webb. Nicole Lehrman led them off with a 9.925. What a start for the reigning champions.
Oklahoma has 6 10-0 start value vaults. Their entire lineup. Here's another 1.5. Beautifully executed. Just a little awkward on the landing. Head kind of came forward, but she fought to keep those feet firmly in place.
Oklahoma won the Big Ten championships this year as well as the regional. They were runner-up by .0375 in the national championship last year to UCLA.
So judges looking for height, distance, and form. Little hop on that landing.
Megan Roberts led off Georgia on bars with a strong 9.85. Rachel Lucas now,
who has done a tremendous job. When Emily Shield got hurt, she has stepped into the lineup and been so tough in competition on all 4 events.
Weren't sure we were going to see her on bars. She's really known for her work on vault and floor.
A little bit short on that final handstand. These little tenths of a point, those are the things they have to fight for. But she got the landing on the double layout.
Good job for the freshman from Hillsborough, New Jersey. Jade Degovea will be next up for the Sooners on vault. The Sooners have one of the most difficult vault lineups in the country. They have as many as 7 athletes who can do perfect 10-0 start values. So almost every meet this season, they've had at least 6 do 10-0 starts.
And they're not just throwing them, they are doing them well.
Oh,
no.
My goodness.
Unfortunately, completely under-rotated that vault. And this is a good time to remind everyone you can drop 1 low score. They count 5 scores toward the team total.
That is a shocker. I think she was going for the stick.
And that's the tricky part. You can get ahead of yourself, so she kind of cut everything short in that vault. Didn't get the good on-fly, didn't get the complete block or the rotation.
Big 12 Specialist of the Year, Jade Degovea, known for her consistency, but a hiccup there for the Sooners. Okay, there is our team of Olympians calling their specific events. Alicia Sacramone-Quinn, Bridget Sloan, Samantha Pesic, and John Roethlisberger. So make sure you tune in to the ESPN app, and you can listen to their commentary on each individual apparatus as well as our telecast. Sydney Sneed, the senior for the Georgia Gym Dogs.
And she does some of the most clean gymnastics in the competition. You rarely ever see a leg that is not perfectly straight, toes perfectly pointed, kept together the entire routine. And you really want to see these skills look effortless, look easy. Big swing, and of course the all-important landing.
Oh, nice.
She gets it. The double layout, a little bit of a pike down, but wow, firmly planted those feet. On a double layout, this is one of the more difficult dismounts in gymnastics. You want to keep that stretch all the way through the entire skill.
After the Oklahoma Sooners suffered a 9.2875 for Jade Degovea. Olivia Troutman a moment ago for the Sooners, the freshman.
Nice job. She was making sure she over-rotated that vault. Not a bad idea. So she'll take the deduction for the hop, but now they must all land on their feet.
9.925 was their leadoff score, 9.85, and then a 9.2875. We'll wait for the score for Troutman. All right, Maggie Nichols coming up, the reigning NCAA all-around champion. Let's go to Holly.
Well, big news for Maggie Nichols. She will be competing in the all-around tonight. She's been in and out of that all-around lineup this year as they were trying to save her after a knee injury that she calls manageable, but a more disastrous foot injury that has plagued her all season. She said she's finally healthy enough. She's trying to go all-around tonight, and we are so happy to see it. One of the most beautiful gymnasts in the country.
Yes, that's right, Holly. She did all-around in the first 2 meets of the year, but she has been struggling a bit, so not as consistent as she normally would be as an all-around leader for the Sooners.
This is when that great training comes into play. She can dial it in even without having the numbers in. Look at that. I cannot stress how incredible that is, that she can pull a vault from the air. It may be a tiny bit short of rotation, but nope. She just pulls it out, nails the landing. She can finesse like few other gymnasts. 4.5 feet above the table, decent height there, opens out.
And the Sooner fans are only 2.5 hours from Norman, Oklahoma. They're here in force, and they know, of course, Maggie Nichols. 16 times she scored perfect tens in her career. Alexa Al-Hamid coming after Sydney Sneed, strong 9-9.
And this is a treat. Check this release move out. It is huge. After the full pirouette, making it more difficult. Sky high. She goes higher than any other gymnast in NCAA gymnastics on that skill. Little quick transition down to the low bar. Unusual technique on that bail. Hits that final handstand perfectly on top of the bar. Nice full pirouette and into a slightly easier dismount, but made more difficult by the combination. Little hop there, though.
Al-Hamid, the freshman from Ames, Iowa, SEC all-freshman team. For the Sooners now, Brenna Dow coming up after Maggie Nichols notched a 9.95. Here is the senior who's had just a superb season as an all-rounder.
This can set up a huge score because she has the power to blast that vault off the table. Didn't get the landing, but there are other things that are important in vault, and it's height and distance.
Quickly to the bars now for Georgia. Rachel Dixon. Alexa Al-Hamid had a 9.875.
Ooh, a little bit close on that transition from the low bar to the high. Might have missed that final handstand, just a little bit short, but look at that dismount. That is spectacular. Full twisting double back and in laid out position.
Dixon,
incredibly
a
difficult.
terrific all-arounder, can go 9.9 plus on all 4 events.
Huge height there. Lost the toe point just a little bit, but 2.5 feet above. I love the stretched arms as she reaches for the bar. And the dismount, that's my favorite part. Huge difficulty there, and done well.
See the scoring update there. Brenna Dow for the Oklahoma Sooners, a 9.9 coming after Maggie Nichols' 9.95. The NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championship continues tomorrow live from the Fort Worth Convention Center with the championship at 7 Eastern on ESPNU. For more information on the 90 NCAA championships, log on to ncaa.com. The first of 4 rotations in this session as we go back to the bars now. Marissa Oakley getting set, and a few last-minute notes from Josh Overton, one of their assistant coaches there. This is a team that's ranked 7th in the country.
This is a big opportunity for Georgia. Marissa Oakley is exquisite on this event. If she can calm the nerves and be confident, she has all the skills here and technique to come up with a huge score.
Scored a 10.0.
Oh, no. Missed her big combination there. Oh. Was short. She should have made that half pirouette and gone the other way and right into the release move. This is a unfortunate situation for Georgia and for this athlete.
We're going to a double box here. That is McKenna Singley for Oregon State on the floor in this rotation as well. All of their scores are 9.8 and above so far for the Oregon State Beavers.
As I mentioned, Oregon State had such a fabulous rotation in regionals on this event. Tanya Service Chaplain does a great job with the choreography and putting these routines together. So Marissa Oakley back up on the bar is going to repeat and missed it again.
Oh, no. So 2 misses, which means that their scores and the lowest score of 9.7625 from Rachel Lucas will have to count, because obviously this score will be dropped. But a big missed opportunity here for Georgia as she gets a couple of extra notes from Courtney Kupets-Carter, the legendary Georgia gymnast.
And so you
right.
understand why she's repeating this skill. She needs that combination, that skill, to get her full bonus, her full credit with all the difficulty. It's an important combination for this routine. Pirouette, there it is. Higgins, very difficult combination, and well done this time. It's unfortunate it couldn't happen right off the top. And again, more difficulty. The pack salto down to the low bar. As I said, this routine is one of the best in the competition in terms of level of difficulty. And when she's on, it is a ginormous routine, half in, half out. Came up with it big on the third time around, but unfortunately that's going to be a low score.
One of the stars for for Denver all season long has been Maddie Carr. Let's update you on their scores there. Alexis Vasquez had a 9.925. Their lowest score is Mia Sundstrom's 9.5125. Now this is a team that competes sometimes only 7 athletes, and 4 of them are all-arounders, including Maddie Carr.
She is ranked 4th in the all-around. And she has a lot of good difficulty in this routine, including a side aerial to a back handspring. There's the hitch kick to a side somersault. Beat jump to a split fold. Didn't quite get that all the way around or show enough split in the air or the proper position.
A junior from Stillwater, Minnesota, Twin City Twister. She was a teammate in club with Maggie Nichols.
1.5 twist dismount. Whoa, good fight there. Didn't quite bring her feet together, though, for the salute.
Back to the floor now for Oregon State. McKenna Singley had a 9.85. That's their high score. And there could be a couple of highlights coming up here, including this one from Isis Lowry from Australia.
I said, this is a treat. She has such good vibe and great feel for music. And she has the confidence to really perform it to its fullest. Back 1.5 to front layout. Perfect control on that landing.
She's one of the co-captains along with McKenna Singley. 32 for 32 this year in her performances. Very consistent, the junior from Melbourne, Australia.
Rudy, 1.5 twist. Great routine, and finishes with a crown on top of her head. I think she deserved it.
I think so too. Only twice this year did this team hit all 24 routines, and they did it at the regional to make it through to these nationals. A lot of it has to do with their work on the floor. They are 10th in the country on floor, their highest rated event. Caitlin Scow now for Denver, coming after Maddie Carr, only a 9.7875, an uncharacteristically low score for her.
And unfortunate because Alexis Vasquez just before her came out with a big score, really set them up. I love their beam lineup, and these last 3 are so strong. Watch the confidence in this routine. Really attacks the positions and the end position.
She's a senior from Orlando, Florida. She was the Unsung Hero Award winner for last year's season.
Back handspring through the gainer full. Little hop on that landing, but nice job for the anchor.
That means that score of Mia Sundstrom, the 9.5125, will likely be dropped. And so Denver opens up on beam where there's a lot of nerves, and we saw it affect LSU in the first semifinal, and LSU had to climb their way back into qualifying to the championship, which will be tomorrow night. Caitlin Yanish now, after Isis Lowry has a season-high 9-9 on floor.
And wait till you see the power in the tumbling here. Opens with a huge double layout. Come back with her combination pass. This is a front full to a front layout.
Tanya Chaplin said she is without a doubt the most powerful gymnast on the team. Really consistent and impressive with her consistency on floor and ball.
Power even on the leaps and jumps. Really gets the lift off the floor. She'll finish with a tuck double back. And again, watch the technique. Watch the lift off the floor and the punch. Nice high. Oh, and over rotation. So that's too big a step back to be clean. So there will be a deduction there on that landing.
Caitlin Yanish, the sophomore from Chandler, Arizona, as Michael Chaplin gives her high fives.
Look at the power and the technique, the lift off the floor as it keeps rising into the second somersault, maintains that layout position. Big lift, and again continues to rise in that tuck double back, but unfortunately over-rotated with a big step.
And a lot of fans here for Oregon State in the crowd. Thursday, it's the first round of the NFL Draft live from Nashville. Catch all the action on ESPN, and for the first time ever, ABC will have its own unique coverage hosted by the College Game Day crew. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern, and you can also catch all 3 days of the draft on ESPN Deportes, ESPN Radio, NFL Network, and the ESPN app. Alicia Boren is one of the specialists competing in this competition, and we expected, of course, to see Florida here as a complete team, but with this new format and fewer teams making it through to the national championships, Florida was a victim, unfortunately, of a poor performance in the regional that allowed Oregon State to advance, and one of their stars here is competing alone, essentially, as an individual, not with her full team, and that's, of course, senior Alicia Boren.
Yes, and she's qualified in the all-around, so she'll compete on all 4 events, because the all-around is determined in these semifinals with the highest score. This is a great floor routine. It has been so fun to watch all season long. Look at a huge double layout.
She has the all-time consecutive all-around record for the Florida Gators. 53 of 54 meets, she was in the all-around for this team.
And this is like a dance clinic of all the dance moves you've seen through the decades of music. And she hits all of the positions in the air, what the judges are looking for. What a great party routine, but she's going to top it off with another big tumbling run. Very well done.
Huge.
Great performance here. Oh, yeah, dust it off. Finish it strong. Very well done.
The 14-time All-American gives us a thrill here in Fort Worth. the senior from Franklin Lakes, New Jersey.
This routine just doesn't get old, and the tumbling is so exciting. Big double layout, really shows off that laid out position in the air. Same thing with the final tumbling pass, double tuck, and the judges are looking for control on 2 feet, and you want to keep that front foot down on the mat as you step back, and she does. And Jenny Rowland, whoo, she loves it.
Let's go down to Holly Rowe. She's with Tanya Chaplin. Oregon State is in second place at this point in the competition. Holly.
Coach Chaplin, you guys started off to such a good floor rotation. Everybody above 9-9 and Isis with a season high. What did you think about how your team started?
I'm really proud of them. You know, they came out here with a fight, and that's what we talked about, is just coming out here, nothing to lose, go for it, and they were aggressive, and that's what all I could ask. So, great start.
I think this new format, the earlier session today, we saw a lot of nerves on this first rotation. What did you see? Do you think they got relaxed pretty quickly?
You know, we talked about just doing what we do all the time, not changing anything, and they've really bought into that. So that makes a big difference.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a look at the scores after the first of 4 rotations in this semifinal 2. Oklahoma with a 49-4. Oregon State impressively in second. Denver in third, and Georgia in fourth after a slip-up on the bars in the first rotation.
I was named after an Egyptian goddess. We're not Egyptian. My parents just really liked the name, and my younger sister's name is Cleopatra, so we just went with the theme there.
I think it's a pretty good theme, and we saw Isis put that crown on her head. She is named after that Egyptian goddess, but the really cool thing is you can hear from her accent. She's from Melbourne, Australia, but her sister and 2 cousins have flown all the way, all night last night. They are here sitting in the stands. I think we're pretty lucky. We've got Isis and Cleopatra gracing us with their honorary presence here today. I think that was a performance fit for a queen. Very nice to have them here from Australia. And their family's home watching, so hi everybody down under. Hello.
Thank you, Holly. Yes, what a treat. Oregon State doing a terrific job here in the first of 4 rotations in semifinal 2. 4 great teams. The party just started. Only 2 will advance to the championship, and right now, these 4 teams are separated by just less than 15 1/100ths of a point.
We read the book by Jay Billis, Toughness, and we've got that kind of, we were bought in as a team, but I think this year we kind of took it a further step and now we're locked in.
Toughness looks like each one of us, day in and day out. It's the things we do when people aren't watching.
We're always talking about character as grit and resiliency and perseverance, but I think it added a part of mental toughness to character that we, prior to this year, might not have been reinforcing to the extent we are now.
Well, Denver really had to learn toughness from last season when they have had just 5 competitors on some of their events. They have a little bit more depth this year. But Coach Melissa Kutcher-Reinhardt said, you know, I'm so proud of my kids. Character is the foundation that we've built this program around, but that we've added that piece. And I just love that they've used our own Jay Billis, his ESPN book about toughness, is they have learned what's inside of them, and they're showing that. They've got a little bit of a slow start on the beam. They're going to dig into that toughness because every athlete we've spoken to here said, we're mentally strong, and we're going to get a chance to see that.
Thank you, Holly. Yes, they have great senior leadership as well. Grace Broadhurst, Deanna Chesnick, Claire Kern, and Caitlin Scow providing important leadership for this team. It's a very small team, Kathy, but they've been very efficient, and they've had just maybe one of their best seasons ever.
Absolutely, and I love hearing you cannot underplay the importance of mental toughness. Yes, you have to put in the work, put in the numbers to have that consistency, but to then believe and trust in your talent and all the hard work, you have to be mentally tough.
For a small private school in Denver, they've made the NCAA championships 4 times. All right, here we go now. Remember, you can watch every routine on the ESPN app. Each apparatus has its own individual channel, plus the all-around channel where you can see all 4 apparatus at once.
Little bit of a stutter step with Sydney Sneed on balance beam, bottom left corner. Oregon State up on the vault. opening up with a pretty good stuck landing on that Yurchenko full.
So Oklahoma's on the bars, Georgia on the beam, Denver on floor, and Oregon State on vault in the second of 4 rotations.
Nice big amplitude you're seeing on the bars. Anastasia Webb hit that final handstand, setting up for the dismount combination. Double front with a half twist.
Oh, nice.
Well done on the landing. Mia Sundstrom on floor exercise for Denver. Combination pass, front layout to the front full. Little bit of a long step out of that landing. It's been interesting seeing how much the judges are deducting for that because they cover it so well.
Denver has a national champion on this event. You might remember back a few years ago, 2016 NCAA champion on floor, Nina McGee.
Strong finish.
Sundstrom competed in the all-around in every meet last year.
This is your Yurchenko full 995 start value. Came on a little bit high onto the table. When you do that, it's really hard to get a big block and show that amplitude on the post flight.
Maddie Dagan let them off with a 9.8. It seems like if you're going to try to pick up ground in this event, vault is not the place to do it. That seems like one of the tougher places to get some big scores.
Absolutely. The mistakes that you can make on vault are so obvious, and the deductions are severe for those steps, those hops on landings.
And there are the Olympians who are calling our coverage. Let's listen in to Samantha Pesic. She's our commentator on beam. She, of course, was a national champion and Olympian, national champion on this event, by the way.
Second up in the lineup, front aerial, split quarter. Strange arm positions there, and of course she's following Sydney Sneed, who did not have a fall but had a little bit of a mistake on her series. Adds to the drama of the competition, of course. 5 gymnast scores count, 6 compete, so they're hoping to drop Sydney Sneed's score, and phenomenal back handspring layout series. She looks very centered, good rhythm throughout the routine. Finishing back handspring, 1.5 to a stick, holds on to it. And it was a good routine to get them.
Thank you, Sam Pesic, for your call on that routine. A moment ago, Carrie Thomas for the Oklahoma Sooners, the sophomore from Florida.
Her release move is a straddle Jaeger. Judges really want to see those single bar release moves up above the high bar. Nice leg form on that transition to the bail. Really kept the legs together. Nice positions on the handstand, big swing. And a double layup, nice and floaty in the air, and punctuates it with a stick.
She is an uneven bar specialist. That's all she does for the Sooners. And she's been in every lineup, and in fact has a 9.95, her high score this year. Back to vault now.
Handspring front pike half, very difficult vault. They'll take a deduction for the step, but so wonderful to see that different vault. We only see it a couple times in competition. Most of the athletes do those round-off entry vaults.
Coverage of the NBA playoff rolls on tomorrow night with 2 more Game 3s on ESPN and the ESPN app. Bucks Pistons at 8 Eastern, then it's Rockets Jazz. NBA Countdown gets it all started at 7 p.m. Eastern. Brenda Dow for the Sooners on bars now.
And you want to talk about powerful swing. Look at the big swing out of that release move. She has great leg form, really keeps those legs tightly together, perfectly straight. Might have been a touch short on that final handstand, but finessed it. Gorgeous position in that double layout, though. That is just textbook when you see that perfectly straight body throughout the entire double rotation.
Update you on the scores. 9-9 for Webb, 9-8-1-2-5 for Alex Marks. Carrie Thomas, a 9-9-1-2-5. And that'll be a big score for Brenna Dow. What a season she has had. She was one of the contenders for the AAI award given to the top senior student athlete in collegiate competition. Mary Jacobson set to go for Oregon State now on vault.
And this is a different vault as well. It's a Sukahara vault, half on. Layout with a full off, really nicely done.
That was nice.
A little bit of a pike down, but it's a difficult vault to do to really get that big amplitude that you see from the round of entry vaults. But nice difficulty, pretty good form there too. Keeps those legs together, as I said. Slight little picky thing, just a little bit of a pike down.
They're too cool for school over there from Oregon State. Their low score on that event, 9.675 so far. 9.825 for Caitlin Yanish is their high score. Nicole Lehrman getting set to go on the bar. She's tied for fourth in the NCAA this year, but a couple of years ago, she was one of the bar's co-champions of the nation.
She'll open with a half turn out of this giant and into a straddle Jaeger. Big air on that release move. Beautiful handstand position. Nice form to the bail. Little bit of leg separation at the end of her kip. Kind of begins that straddle a little bit too soon. That's being picky. I love the pointed toes throughout the entire dismount.
The senior from Austin, Texas.
They really do some extraordinary work on the uneven bar. So clean.
Marissa Oakley on beam now. Scores for Georgia. And this has been an event that has challenged Georgia this year. They've been sort of hot and cold here.
And of course, we just saw her have the problem, significant problems on the uneven bar. She can be beautiful on this event. She just really needs to put the bars behind her, focus, and trust her talent here and all the hard work she's put in. Here's her acro series. Back handspring layout, beautifully done.
Sophomore from Huntersville, North Carolina.
Oh, completely bailed in the middle of that front aerial. That is just, that's almost panic. That is nerves that just literally stopped her in the middle of a skill.
You see the tape on her leg. The coaching staff said that front aerial sometimes bothers her knee.
Such lovely positions in her leaps. Very difficult leap, that ring jump, and you put your head back toward your toe. Cartwheel to a gainer full. Still struggling a little bit with confidence, but the gymnastics is there. So much talent, so much ability.
Remember how closely matched these four teams are, and just two teams advance to the championship tomorrow night. Just a moment ago for the Oklahoma Sooners, Maggie Nichols, currently ranked second in the country. She's coming after Nicole Lehrman, got a 9.925.
Phenomenal all-arounder, but this may be my favorite event of hers. She works so freely, showing incredible, difficult elements, perfectly done, great form. Just a spectacular routine so far with a double layout. Lands with her feet together, yes! So good to see that. That may be the best routine that I've seen her do. Sometimes she lands with the feet apart, but wow, that was picture perfect. Look at that. Feet together. Great job.
Coaching staff says more than any other gymnast on the team, she wears her heart on her sleeve. What a performance there Alicia Bourne. We saw her on floor. Let's see what she can do as an individual all-arounder now involved.
1.5 twist. Big vault in the air. Couldn't quite get the landing, but really nice amplitude.
Rachel Bauman on beam now. Marissa Oakley's score is coming in. It's a 9.6. Let's go down to Holly.
Well, we are going to see something in this rotation that has never happened before. Yes, two sisters who are competing for two different schools will be in the same rotation. Alyssa Bauman competes for Florida. She is alternating in this rotation with Georgia. This is her younger sister, Rachel, who is on the beam right now, and they have never competed together. Alyssa was an elite level gymnast. Rachel was a junior Olympian, and so this is the first time ever that they have been in the same rotation. I asked the NCAA reps how this happened. They said it is just fate. The Region 4 individual paired with the bars, and the semifinal number 2, which is Georgia. So random blind pairing. I think the gymnastics universe knew that this was meant to be for the Bauman sisters and their family.
Well, big sister and family have to be so proud of her in this moment. This is one of the best beam routines that Rachel's done. Mom is, can't even look. Oh, what a moment for all of them. Great performance.
Cheryl is her mother, and you see her going through the torture. There are several family members that are wearing shirts that are cut down the middle at Florida and Georgia. And she gets a couple of notes from Suzanne Yocklin, the legend herself, the former coach at Georgia. Now she's a volunteer assistant. Suzanne Yocklin, 10 times she won the national championship with the Gym Dogs. This is what a mom goes through when your
How long can you hold your breath?
Child is on the beam. Oh. She only surfaces when she hears the cheers. The torture of a parent when you have your child on a 4-inch wide beam, 4.5 feet off the ground, and a national title on the line.
Yeah.
Wow. Maddie Carr will go now for Denver on the floor. You see her NQS. That means national qualifying score is pretty darn impressive. Caitlin Scow before her had a 9.85. That's their high score in this rotation. Two of their best floor workers coming up now, Maddie Carr and then Lindsey Brown.
Maddie opens with a double back in piked position. Difficult combination pass. The back 1.5 to the front full. Split full and a wolf full. Judges are really looking to make sure that those turning leaps makes the full rotation in the air.
Tells us her dream job would be to work for the Colorado Avalanche. She's a hockey fan coming from Minnesota.
Finishes with the Rudy. Chest was a little bit down on that final landing.
Maddie Carr, the junior, doing a nice job for Denver there. They have yet to break into the 9.9s on floor. A moment ago for Georgia, Sabrina Vega on beam.
Big, beautiful mount, that giant jump to a Sisson. She is an entrance like no other on the beam.
Georgia has shown some nerves in this event. Their high score is Rachel Dixon's 9.8125.
She didn't quite hit the ring jump position as she normally does, but she is so beautiful. The posture and the rhythm in this routine is so good. And of course the moonwalk. Every year a Georgia gymnast performs that on the balance beam. It's a tradition that they hand down. She puts her acro series toward the end of the routine. The back handspring layout, step out. Oh, a little bit of a turn there. There have been some balance, just a couple little issues in this routine. This is not her absolute best. She's doesn't take anything away from how beautiful she looks on this event, but there are some tiny deductions.
The SEC Specialist of the Year, just a little bit off in terms of her precision. Normally she is impeccable. The junior from Carmel, New York, former member of the U.S. national team. So a few encouraging words there for the Georgia Gym Dogs in order, because they are not having the meet they had hoped for. We saw Rachel Bauman in this rotation for Georgia. Here is her sister, Alyssa, who competes for Florida.
And this is one heck of a sister act. They are both incredible on this event. Uncanny, just sense of balance. And the little details in the routine. She did not quite finish that half turn in the air and get that split position as she normally does. Just cut it off just a little bit. Very nicely done on the aerial cartwheel split jump.
So her mom doesn't have to watch. Her friend's giving her the play-by-play.
A very, very solid routine so far. Minor deductions in that. Fights for the landing on the 1.5.
Lindsey Brown now for Denver. Wow,
whoa,
what a big double layout.
That was a double well from pardon me. Perfectly straight. You don't often see a double layout that straight in the air.
Maddie Carr got a 9.8375, so a 9.8 or more for Lindsey Brown here means Denver will move into a solid second place at the halfway point in this meet.
I like this here. Back 1.5, front layout into the Sisson. Very nice touch to that tumbling pass.
Lindsey Brown, the sophomore from Kansas City, Missouri, did her club training at Gage Gymnastics. They have so many top-level athletes competing in this NCAA championship here.
This is a routine that has what it takes to get that, really earn that big score. Open with a knee past the double layout and comes back. Final pass with a pike double back. Nice high chest position at the end. Great routine.
And a great rotation for Denver here in the second rotation of these national championship semifinals. They've come to count on Lindsey Brown and Maddie Carr all season long, and they delivered in this rotation.
Love to see this pass again. The position in the air is exquisite. Perfectly straight, like spinning a pencil around, and almost keeps that front foot down. It slid back a little bit, and that should be a slight deduction, but impressive nonetheless.
The Pioneer Nation in force. They're hoping their team advances to the final four teams tomorrow night, which will be live from Fort Worth. Will be on ESPNU. Melissa Kutcher-Reinhardt knows they got some momentum. Tonight after Blazers Thunder catch SportsCenter with Stan and Neil. They'll have post-game reactions from Russell Westbrook and Damian Lillard. Plus how the Rockets have blown by one of the NBA's best defenses. And is Red Sox Nation in crisis? Highlight from Game 1 of their series against the AL East leading Rays. SportsCenter at midnight Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. And the score's in for Lindsey Brown, an impressive 9.95, their high score in that rotation, and that ties her with Kyla Ross for the lead in floor exercise. Now, it's a good time to bring up, this is Lexi Remler from Minnesota. She's a superb gymnast. She's competing here as an individual, not with a full team. And at the end of tonight, they will award individual championships for the all-around and the event finals based on the results of both semifinal sessions today, Kathy.
And you said superb. She has superb footwork in this routine. This should be the standard in terms of footwork. And look at the position and the leaps in the air. Turned out feet, perfectly pointed every time they leave the floor.
She's a sophomore from Minnesota. She turned in the highest all-around score in program history for Minnesota this year. She's been rewarded for her clean form and perfection.
The form and flexibility are really exquisite in this routine. And the fun, I love the expression, the performance quality. One and a half twist, tumbles through to a double twist. Nice long combination pass to end the routine. Look at that toe point. That is to die for. I love it. Really nice performance.
Lexi Ramler competing for an individual title here on behalf of Minnesota. All right, let's go down to Holly. She's got Courtney Kupets.
Courtney Kupets, after 2 rotations, I saw you just pull your team together and have some words. What is it you're saying to them right now?
You know, what I saw on balance beam was just competing tight, competing a little bit nervous and wanting it while they're competing. And you know what? The meet is going to start over for us on floor. We're going to start over in energy. I don't want to see another score. I want to feel how they're doing in the competition through their action, through their behavior, through their excitement. I really want them to go for it. This is such a great team. I love this group so much. And they've worked so hard, and they're such a great beam team. So it was a disappointment for sure on this balance beam, but this meet is not over, and this is such an honor and accomplishment to be here, and there's so many great teams, and they need to fight for everything.
I love it. You've been in this moment yourself, so do you think they listen to you more, like just let it go and that they'll believe you and do that?
You know, they do listen, but they want it so much, and they love this team, and they want to do everything they can for this team, but at that moment, they have to just be focused on what they're doing. So we're excited for the next 2 events.
Thank you.
Courtney Kupets doing a great job in her second season as the head coach at Georgia, but they are trailing right now. OU, Denver, and Oregon State, the top 3 in this session. And welcome back to Fort Worth. Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark and Holly Rowe at the halfway point in this competition. The Oklahoma Sooners are firmly in first place. But look how close it is between second and third, between Denver and Oregon State, separated less than 0.2 of a point. And remember, only 2 teams from this session advance to tomorrow night's championship. Oklahoma's Maggie Nichols delivers again, Kathy.
As expected, her gymnastics is spectacular. Her focus and supreme confidence and trust that she has in her ability. My favorite routine so far, this bar routine, had everything, including a perfectly stuck landing, feet together, perfection.
And Denver did a superb job in one of their best events. This is Lindsey Brown.
Exciting to see such a well-performed double layout. And all the way to the finish, kept that focus, entertained the crowd, especially her fans. Well done.
And she is one of only 3 gymnasts to have 9.95, so she has the lead on floor. Thursday, it's the first round of the NFL Draft live from Nashville. Catch all the action on ESPN, and for the first time ever, ABC will have its own unique coverage hosted by the College Game Day crew. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern, and you can also catch all 3 days of the draft on ESPN Deportes, ESPN Radio, NFL Network, and the ESPN app. Okay, we're getting set for the last half of this competition. Get your hats and boots on. It's going to be a thriller. Comes down to the finish.
I never think I do it well enough as a mother of 3, and then a mother of 14 at times. It's difficult to balance. 3 days after having Savannah, I did go back to the gym. We had an open house for our gym kids to come in and watch the girls, so I came in for a little bit to be with the team. 3 weeks later, had our first competition. It's difficult, but nothing in life that's worth it isn't difficult. Everything that really is worth going for it, having a family, being able to have an amazing job at Georgia with such amazing athletes, it's going to be hard.
Being the mother of 3 children under 3 years old is impossible. Courtney Coupette's making it look so easy for all of us out there. Her athletes say she is an inspiration to them. Not only as a coach, she's widely considered to be one of the best individual gymnasts in history at the collegiate level, but that what she's doing as a woman, it is a role model and someone that they look up to doing it all.
You're absolutely right, Holly, and hats off to her husband, former British gymnast Chris Carter. He's been Mr. Mom through a lot of this.
Super dad.
Congratulations to him and all the Mr. Moms out there as well. But no question, Courtney Coupette-Carter, a rock star in the sport. Not only as an athlete, but she's asserting herself as a coach and at the same time parenting 3 very young children. A reminder, you can catch every routine on the ESPN app. Each apparatus has its own channel, plus the all-around channel where you can see all 4 apparatus at once like you're seeing here. Listen to all 6 Olympians provide expert analysis of the championship this weekend. Olivia Troutman now, the freshman from Oklahoma, leads them off on beam.
This is an event that Oklahoma has been so strong on. I particularly love their interesting choreography. Little stutter step after that pike front toss.
Troutman, the Big 12 champion on floor exercise, the Big 12 newcomer of the year.
And she has a beautiful set on this 1.5 twist. Really lifts that up, drops it in. A little bit of a quick salute there to the judge, so they might not give her the perfect stick. But I love the pop off the beam, the set. 1.5, and just quickly turns to the judge to try to pull off a stick.
And a big hug from KJ Kindler in her 13th season there at Oklahoma. Knows how important that first routine on beam is. Okay, Alexandra Ruiz now for Denver.
Opens with a Yurchenko full. A pretty strong vault. It doesn't quite have the bigness of some of the vaults we've seen in terms of amplitude, and of course it's a 995 start value with the Yurchenko full.
This will be a really important event for Denver as we go to Oregon State's Mary Jacobson on bars.
Big, beautiful single bar release to open up. She has a double front dismount right here. It's a blind landing. See if she can get the stick. Really nicely done there. Just an arm circle up to the salute. Nice tap. Got 2 feet up above the bar. Really nice. Good distance and right into the undershoot to low bar. But love this dismount and the way she just circled those arms right up. No movement of the feet though.
The senior is reliable once again for Oregon State. She hit 38 of 38 routines this year. Back now to beam. Talk about reliable athletes. Here is Brenna Dowell. Olivia Troutman led them off with a 9.85.
And this is the first year that Brenna's been doing balance beam. She has competed really well for them. Very consistent, very powerful as well here. Watch this front aerial into a standing back pike. Look for the split position on these leaps here. Lost the toe point just a little bit on that front foot.
Another one of those senior athletes who did her club training at Gage Gymnastics, and her technique and form is evident, and it really pays off in collegiate gymnastics.
Very difficult, full twisting back handspring. Had to lift that leg, so that balance check will be a deduction. She finishes with a punch front with a full twist.
I think nearly every team has shown some nerves on this event here in the semifinal.
Just a
all
little.
Day long.
You're right.
A moment ago, Isis Lowry on the bars for Oregon State.
Isis does a nice combination from the low bar to the high bar. She'll do back-to-back after this toe hand. She'll do a Maloney up to the bar and come right back with a pack salto. Almost hit her feet on that mat as they were pulling it back. She ends a routine with a double layout. Took it out a little bit. You could see she missed that release point, so it slung out a bit and couldn't quite get the stick.
Oregon State needs an important rotation here. This is their lowest ranked event of their 4. Let's go down to Holly.
Well, for Oregon State, their 3 seniors have been such an impact this season. Coming into this competition tonight, they've hit 75 of 79 routines. And one of those seniors that you see coming up now for the first time tonight, Mariana Kalusi-Pulea, has actually been accepted into medical school. They've got another senior going to law school and one into Google.
We'd like to welcome our audience joining us from ESPN2 after that softball game. We're glad you've joined us. It's the semifinal number 2 here at the NCAA Gymnastics Championships. I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark and Holly Rowe. The Oklahoma Sooners firmly in control at the halfway point in this competition. Denver and Oregon State very close in terms of team competition. Just 2 of 4 teams will advance to the final championship night tomorrow night. A reminder, you can watch every routine on the ESPN app. Each apparatus has its own channel, plus the all-around channel where you can see all 4 apparatus at once. And we have 6 Olympians providing expert analysis as we go to Oklahoma on the beam, the undefeated team and the number 1 team in the nation. This is Nicole Lehrman.
And a beautifully creative mount sequence there with the chest stands and the straddle split, showing off that flexibility.
Update you on their scores. Olivia Troutman led them off with a 9.85. Brenna Dahl was a little bit shaky with a 9.7375.
One of the requirements on balance beam, this acro series, she does a back handspring layout, step out. Nice leg form all the way throughout, even kept the toes pointed on the layout. Front aerial to a beat jump.
And just in the middle of the season, Coach KJ Kindler completely adjusted her routine. There's a couple of skills and lunges that actually hurt her leg. So they completely changed her routine mid-season, averaging over 9.9.
Nice adjustment on the routine. It's paying off. Very consistent, which is exactly what this Oklahoma team needs. It's a gainer full off the side, swings that leg through. Laid out position and a full twist.
Go down to Holly Rowe.
See all of those details of that Oklahoma beam routine, and that has been the focus all season long. Last year, they lost in heartbreaking fashion, 0.0375. That has been their hashtag and their mantra this season. All through spring, all through summer, all through all of their extra training, the details matter. That would come down to as much as a foot flex. That's how narrow the competition was. So when you see their clean line, their specific details that they are so focused on, that has been the focus this season. If they're going to be national champions, it will be from the details.
Quickly to Maddie Carr from Denver on vault. You see her score there, averaging over 9.9.
10-0 start value with this 1.5 twist. Brought the head and chest forward a little bit too much to get the stick, but showed good amplitude and form in the air.
Their high scores so far there is just a 9.825. So as we have seen all day long, it's tough to get a big score on vault. So no one's going to really gain any ground in this team competition on vault. So Denver will need to hang on in this rotation to stay in that top 2 spot. Currently Oklahoma in the lead, Denver in second. Oregon State less than 0.2 of a point behind Denver. And let's go to Sabrina Gill on the bars for Oregon State.
Well, they're coming off a 9-9 from Hallie Briscoe, so that's huge. Sets up a nice possibility here for their anchor routine on bars.
Carly Woodard on beam for Oklahoma at the same time. By the way, Nicole Lehrman scores in. She got a 9-9.
Really strong on those handstand positions. And a double layout. A little bit of a pike down and a half hop back, but really strong routine.
Sabrina Gill, the junior from Oakville, Ontario, member of the Canadian national team.
Front toss. Lovely needle scale showing off the flexibility.
Carly Woodard ranked 11th on beam in the country, 2019 regional beam champion.
Switch lead to split jump, lost that toe point on the back leg.
The specialist in this event 6 times this year. She's been 9-9 or better for the Sooners.
She'll finish with a combination into the dismount, the aerial cartwheel right into the full. Little legs apart, but pulls them together for the stick and salute. Watch this switch leg leap. Hits the 180 degree, just barely, but she gets there. Toes pointed, but watch the back foot on that split jump. Just doesn't quite keep that toe pointed. Nice job on this dismount, aerial cartwheel, good form. Little leg separation right on that landing.
This is an event where the Oklahoma Sooners are ranked #1 in the country. A moment ago for Denver, Lindsey Brown on the vault. You see her average is over 9-9.
Well, we saw her power on the floor exercise in the tumbling. It's the same here on vault. Oh, too bad. Just slightly under-rotated and couldn't quite finesse that landing to hold on to it. Really nice form in the air. Tried to open out, just not quite enough rotation to hang on to that position.
And in that rotation, their 2 all-around stars, Maddie Carr and Lindsey Brown, both get 9.85s, but no 9.9s for Denver on vault in the 3rd rotation. AJ Kindler getting a couple of notes for Anastasia Webb for the Oklahoma Sooners. Kindler in her 13th year. She's led the OU Sooners to 3 national championships. And as Holly noted, last year they were .0375 out of the championship because UCLA had the meat of their lives to rightly win it in the final rotation.
And these last 2 beam routines for Oklahoma are so well choreographed, well performed. They really go above and beyond in many of the areas.
Anastasia Webb, the sophomore from Morton Grove, Illinois.
Handspring layout, step out. Oh, no. Big balance break. Anytime you bend at the waist all the way over, that's a very big deduction. At least 0.3 of a point. You can really see her sharpen up after that to be very, very determined. And now it's interesting, when you do balance beam up on a podium, the beam tends to bounce a little bit, little shake. You have to settle it after each skill and just take a split second. Otherwise, the beam will be moving. And they know that. They train for this. Little adjustment there into the dismount. Just a little bit off throughout that whole routine.
It's interesting. It was almost looked like she was trying to be too careful on that series. And then when she got more aggressive later in the routine, she was better.
Sometimes when you're slightly off, you'll overcorrect. It's a little bit of a panic situation. Instead of just follow through strongly is your best chance of correcting something.
Rachel Dixon on floor for Georgia. Their high score over there, Rachel Lucas, a 9.85. Georgia hoping to work their way back into contention here on this event.
Beautiful amplitude on the double Arabian, kind of a big step forward out of it. Talked to Courtney Kupats before the competition. She really wanted her athletes to feel joy in the moment. Still keep their focus. It's different than having fun. You don't want to lose the focus, but to feel just true joy in the moment and in the opportunity of being here. Big pike double back. Nice job with the amplitude. Chest up high. Nice finish.
Great finish for Rachel Dixon for the Georgia Gym Dogs. 10 times they've been national champions. The last time, however, was back in 2009. They won 5 championships in a row under Suzanne Yaka. They've had some coaching changes since then, but Courtney Kupats-Carter in charge now. As we go back to beam for Oklahoma, look at the average for Maggie Nichols, 9.975. She's coming after Anastasia, wobbled a bit and got a 9.5875. So a lot of pressure here if the Sooners are going to maintain the lead. They need a big score from Nichols now.
Watch the extension. She stretches through every movement, the arms, every pose. There's the front aerial into the split jump. Her series wants to maintain form throughout, straight legs through the back handspring layout.
Ranked number 1 in the country on beam. She has been limited. We expect we may see her in the all-around tonight. She hasn't done all 4 events except the second week of the season because she's been struggling with plantar fasciitis in one of her feet and knee trouble as well.
Nice job on the leaps. Almost kept that front foot totally pointed. Very, very close so far. Exceptional routine. See if she can get the stick. She usually does. Oh, no, not quite. Just a little hop on that 1.5 twist.
16 times in her career. She's just a junior. She scored perfect 10s.
The acro series. Perfectly done. And the dismount, usually you see her come up with this stick. She can finesse it. Not quite on this one, but still beautiful.
A moment ago for Georgia, Sabina Vega starting on the floor, coming after Rachel Dixon. Got their high score over there, a 9.8625.
And just as she did on balance beam, what an entrance to this floor routine. She wasn't completely satisfied with that beam routine. This could be huge for her and for Georgia. Full in. She has such a presence on this event. Really commands the attention. Oh no, missed the timing of the punch after that back 1.5, and that front layout was really too low and came up short.
Good save though.
Very good save. Where she really shines is on these leaps. She is spectacular in the air, getting the split and the full turnaround. Not quite as big as they usually are.
Here's a young lady that was 5 years on the U.S. national team, has a gold medal in the 2011 World Gymnastics Championships.
Strong finish, pike double back.
Georgia had an outstanding competition in the regional finals, and a meet they hosted in Athens, and probably their best performance of the year. They just seem a little bit off tonight, Kathy. Trinity Thomas now from Florida competing here as an individual. Once again, Florida did not make it here as a full team, and yet she is in contention for an individual championship, because in addition to team qualifiers, today they will award national titles in each individual event as well as the all-around.
And she is special on this event. The nuances in this choreography and the feel of the routine just draws you in.
Freshman from York, Pennsylvania.
She has an incredible double layout. Watch the lift, the rise. Fights to keep that front foot down on the step into the lunge. Front full, front layout, into the sisson. She impressed so many people in her freshman year, such poise in competition.
I mentioned individual titles. The high score on floor is held by 3 athletes currently: Lindsey Brown, Kyla Ross, and Alicia Boren, 9.95.
And that is just gasp worthy. I love that move with the split, the leg over the shoulder. So many special features of this routine, like this pike double back. Oh, she stepped forward out of it, so her chest was a little bit down. They'll take a tiny deduction for that, or should. Such an entertaining routine. She has great technique on this double layout, and it just continues to rise.
Let's go down to Holly Rowe.
Well, Coach, you talked about your team having character, and we have really seen that. I feel like they have been so mentally tough here today. What have you seen from your athletes?
They are resilient. We started on balance beam, and that's not an easy event to start on, but all we have to do now is stay in the moment and do one person at a time.
The vault scores have been a little bit low. They've been tough all day, but how do you take what you did there, strong and confident, to your next event?
You know, we're a very strong bar team. So I think, again, if we just stay in the moment, do what we're capable of doing, and let the thing play out till the end.
Do you think it's any surprise if you guys finish in the top 2 tonight and advance to the national championship tomorrow night?
I expect to finish in the top 2 tonight.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And the big story here, the Oklahoma Sooners firmly in charge. Only 2 teams will advance to tomorrow's championship. And guess what? Tied for second is Oregon State and Denver. We're going to find out who's going to advance after the 4th and final rotation, which is coming up from Fort Worth. Here is Lindsey Brown from Denver. Here is the story going into the 4th and final rotation after their work on the vault.
Came up big with a 1.5 twist. Even without a perfectly stuck landing, it was a nice score for Denver, and maybe it was her lucky Walter Payton jersey she sleeps in the night before competition. She came up huge for Oregon State on the bars with a 9.9.
Allie Briscoe does her part for Oregon State. They are in the mix here. Who's going to advance to the championship tomorrow night? The Oklahoma Sooners in charge, but Denver and Oregon State are tied. The leading coach is the Sooners, and here is KJ Kindler. She's with Holly Rowe.
Coach Kindler, beam has not been friendly tonight. There seems to be a little extra give on this platform. How are you addressing that with your athletes?
Is that what's wrong?
I'm not sure.
Honestly, we didn't stick any dismounts. We stuck 2 out of 6. That's uncharacteristic for us. We can be better than that. Couple little wobbles, you're right. I don't know. But could be the full moon. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm just guessing, but I know it's been bouncy. But for your athletes, they've got one more event here. How do they really clinch this and move on till tomorrow and learn from this platform?
Yeah, absolutely. Floor has been an event that we've had to really grow on this year. So to end it with a bang would be exactly what we're looking for.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You know, earlier today, UCLA and LSU earned their spots into the championship. OU is firmly in charge tonight, but it's going to come down to Oregon State and Denver, and we're going to find out who advances when we come back.
Our team's been through a lot of adversity this year. We started out with our hashtag .0375, and our season has really been a roller coaster. It's been the craziest season I've ever been on as a Sooner.
As we went through our season, a lot of things happened. Our trainer's husband passed away, and it was a 3-year battle with colon cancer, and it's very difficult for our team.
We kind of switched over our focus, and we changed our hashtag to DIFD, Do It for Dave. And kind of every meet we have these blue ribbons that we put on our backs, and we put the hashtag underneath, and every turn that we take it's for him. It's just been really special to kind of honor him and his legacy throughout this season.
Instead of worrying about themselves and what they lost last year, they're worrying about others and doing it for Dave. A beautiful sentiment that has been driving this Oklahoma team all season.
There is Dave's wife, Jennifer Richardson. And Dave passed away the week that Oklahoma met UCLA, number 1 against number 2. And it was a difficult week for the Sooners. So they have turned that sadness into a bit of motivation for this team. And it is driving them to first place in this session. But the big story now will be who's going to advance, either Denver or Oregon State. They are tied for second. Only 2 teams from this session will go through to tomorrow night's championship round. Georgia trails both of them by 0.4 of a point.
And Denver and Oregon State are on the 2 technical events, the balance beam and the uneven bars. So a lot of precision is necessary, and they really have to fight for every 10th of a point. Nice solid on that front toss.
Most of the teams have acknowledged some nerves on beam, even the OU Sooners. So let's see what Oregon State can do in this moment.
Pretty solid job for their leadoff performer on beam. Did exactly what they need her to do, get this rotation started.
Here's a young lady that's been the leadoff on beam consistently. She's headed to law school in Utah after her senior year. She's one of the co-captains along with Isis Lowry. You see her there. Claire Kern. Take a look at the season averages there on the right of your screen between these 2 teams. Denver on bars and Oregon State on beam. Denver has a slight advantage, but of course they're on the bars and Oregon State on beam in this final rotation.
Crucial here on this event, hitting those handstand positions. Those are the kind of deductions that are so obvious, and of course on the landing, that little hop. Those just chip away at a score. So not only do they need to be vertical, and we'll see if she hits that handstand position, but they have to swing up with straight arms. She finessed it, got it right in range for no deduction. And of course they are watching closely, not just the height and the difficulty on the dismount, but that landing. You hop forward, that deduction has to be taken.
Isis Lowry on the beam now. 9.8625 was a terrific leadoff score for McKenna Singley.
And supreme confidence is what you need on this event. That and ice water in your veins to handle the additional nerves. 0.5 of a point off for a fall.
Junior from Melbourne, Australia, 32 for 32 coming into this meet in terms of consistency for Oregon State.
And even though right now this is the score they will want to drop, she has to fight all the way through this routine, because you never know what's going to happen, not only with the rest of your rotation, but the team you're in tight battle with as well. Good job fighting for that landing. Don't give anything else away. this type of skill, you have to really set it up and follow through. Notice how she landed with her big toe off the side of the beam. So she was off from the very beginning and just no way to pull it back on.
A moment ago, Alexandra Ruiz for Denver. Claire Kern led them off with a 9.8.375.
Love the difficult combination right off the bat here. She's going to do a giant into a full pirouette right into her release move. Nice transition, hit that handstand on the low bar. Has to hit this one as well. Really well done so far. Big dismount, double layout. Nice job.
So clean. And she gets congratulations from Linas Gavaika. He's the associate head coach, formerly of Lithuania, part of their national team. He's a national champion on high bar when he was a competitor here in collegiate competition. Mia Sundstrom coming up now after Ruiz got a 9.875. So Denver strong here so far.
She opens with a clear hip right here to the handstand into her Tkachev. Same transition down to the low bar. Little leg separation there. Another double layout. Just a micro hop on the landing. I love watching the excitement of him on the sidelines. Arm goes up every time she hits a handstand. Great job by the coach there.
You know, he likes to keep the team guessing on the lineup. They'll warm up 7 or 8 gymnasts sometimes, and then they'll call these athletes and say, okay, you're going or you're going, depending on how they feel about the mood at that moment. Not every athlete can handle that kind of adjustment late in the competition.
Love the details here of Lacey Dagan on beam. Nice position with the hands. Beautiful feet. Really gets that extension and toe point.
Perspective on what's going on here. Isis Lowry had only a 9.1625. Remember, in this type of competition, 6 athletes on each event. Just the best 5 scores count towards their team total. So the next 4 routines have to be clean if they hope to stay ahead of Denver, who's doing a really nice job on bar.
Love that she's keeping her composure. As the pressure does begin throughout the routine, it builds. And she's staying locked in, completely focused all the way to the end. Just a little hop on the landing.
Emily Glynn now for Denver on bars. Mia Sundstrom had a 9.85.
Her release move was a Ginger, that flyaway with a half twist. Nice handstand position. Good straight arm work on the Giants. And a half in, half out. Oh, little stiff-legged on the landing, almost rebounded out of it.
He's trying so hard to stick that landing. You can feel the intensity here. They know a couple more hit routines and they could advance to the final 4 teams in the championship session tomorrow night. Emily Glynn. Back to Rachel Lucas. She can do a huge vault here for Georgia.
And it's a double twist, 10-0 start value. One of the most difficult in the competition. Her chest was a little bit low and feet slightly staggered on the landing, but the difficulty of the vault, extraordinary.
Once again, Oklahoma in charge. Denver and Oregon State tight. Georgia 0.4 of a point behind coming into this final rotation, and they're on vault, which is their highest ranked event. Lacey Dagan scored on beam, is coming in, and this is her sister Maddie Dagan.
How would you like to be her mom? Back-to-back daughters competing on the balance beam. Beautiful job. Very sure on that landing.
Lacey did her part, 9.8125 for Lacey Dagan. Lindsey Brown on bars at the same time for Denver. Emily Glynn had a strong 9.85.
Little leg separation on both those 2 release moves on bars. Again, right there, she just separates the legs as she is in her flight. But boy, when she hits that handstand, it is beautiful. Locked together. And a gorgeous double layout. Just a little adjustment with the arms and the chest down a little bit.
This is a little bit of anything you can do, I can do better. 2 stuck landings back to back. Oregon State and Denver coming down to the wire.
No doubt both of these teams are doing their job, doing everything they can do to argue their case.
Once again, Oklahoma firmly in charge. They're on the floor, and they are performing beautifully. Brenna Dowell getting set to go there. 9-9 was their leadoff performer. Anastasia Webb, Evie Schofer, a 9.8625. Talk about what kind of a season the Oklahoma Sooners have had. 7 scores above that magical 198 this season. They've had a #1 ranking since the first week, and they look like they will fly right through to the championship round, where they'll go against UCLA, LSU, and either Oregon State or Denver, depending on how they do in this final rotation.
Nice combination, full pirouette to the Ginger. Now check this out on the right. A double front in pike position. It's called the dowel. Very few gymnasts have the power and technique to do that skill.
And another hit routine for Denver after Lindsey Brown got a 9-9. Maddie Carr will wrap it up.
Back 1.5 to front layout. Just extraordinary technique in Brenna Dowell's tumbling. Putting this choreography together, you really want to show her power, even in the dance. Front layout, front full, right into the stag jump. Again, showing the consistency, and it's not just their consistency, but high level of gymnastics. High scoring potential on all 4 events, and consistent.
A moment ago for Oregon State, Myla Lazaro after Maddie Dagan got a 9.8625.
Opens with her acro series, the back handspring layout. Now watch after this switch leap, she's going to do a straddle, or split jump into a straddle 3/4. More difficult jump. Very nice high on toe on that full turn. Often you'll see other gymnasts very flat-footed. One more difficult piece. It's the dismount combination. Side aerial into the full. Well done. What a finish for them.
Nice finesse on that landing for Lazaro. And look at the scores for Denver. A huge finish here in the semifinal #2. Maddie Carr after Lindsey Brown got a 9-9. Maddie Carr with her 9.9125. Olivia Troutman, she scored a perfect 10 earlier this year in the perfect 10 challenge. She is one of the finest floor workers in the country for the Sooners.
High energy routine, open with a double layout.
one of those Twin City Twisters club gymnasts from Minnesota, former teammates at club and now in college with Maggie Nichols.
Front layout to front full. A little bit knees bent on that front layout, but that's being picky.
Currently tied for second with Trinity Thomas from Florida in the NCAA rankings on this event.
Split full to a Popa. Big tuck double back. Does a good job keeping that front foot planted as she goes to the lunge. Very definitive finish there.
The powerful freshman from Minnesota, Olivia Troutman, Big 12 floor exercise champion. Sabrina Gill now, the final routine for Oregon State on beam. You see her national qualifying score average. Lazaro, a 9.8875. So the score they want to replace is the 9.1625 of Isis Lowry. And she would need a 9.975, which hasn't happened today, on beam right now to pass Denver and get into the championship round tomorrow night.
Nice rhythm there. Good fight on the front aerial to the back handspring.
High score on beam so far this entire competition is only a 9.95.
Split half. She's doing the best she can possibly do. Showing it off. Great job. A little slide hop back.
Sabrina Gill, the anchor on both bars and beam for Oregon State. It's a 9.825, so it will not be enough for Oregon State to advance to tomorrow night's championship with just 4 teams on the floor going for the title. To close things out for the Oklahoma Sooner is the impeccable Maggie Nichols. If she scores a 9.8875 on floor, she could win the all-around. Keep in mind, she's only done the all-around twice this year. She's been out all season long with injuries to her foot and to her knees. Denver is celebrating on the sideline because they now know for sure that they're advancing to the championship tomorrow night.
Maggie open with a pike double back. She's not going to do the biggest, most difficult tumbling in this pass, but if she can be clean and perfect with her form and execution and performance, it has enough in it. It has a 10-0 start value. Front full to a beautiful front layout step out.
They completely adjusted the choreography on this routine to make it a 2-pass tumbling routine.
Doing a nice job showing off the position in the air on those leaps. Beautiful. Love the flourish at the end,
beautiful.
and mad respect for this athlete, really. To be able to pull that off. She has not been able to tumble much. You know that. We know that. They've adjusted the routine.
I talked to Coach Kindler before, and I said, are you concerned about her doing the all-around tonight? It's been a few months since she's been in the all-around, and she said, she hasn't done a lot of reps, but she's Maggie Nichols.
Exactly, and they created a routine that she can do that's not going to be risky, and it shows off all that is Maggie.
The reigning NCAA all-around champion. The Current leader in the all-around is UCLA's Kyla Ross. She's tied with Lexi Ramler from Minnesota. Ramler in this session, Kyla Ross in the previous session. Let's go to Denver's coach, Melissa Kutcher-Reinhardt. This is pretty exciting. They're going to make it through to the championship round tomorrow night.
So this is so cute. After our interview, and she said, we're going to make it through. She's like, should I have said that? I don't know if I should have said that. Coach, you should have said it. Your team backed you up on this. What is it like to find out you are advancing one of 4 teams in the final tomorrow night?
It's incredibly exciting and incredibly rewarding, but I am so proud of these student athletes. They have fought all year long. They've been gritty and resilient, and I can't be any more proud.
You know, you had to do it on bars, and everybody but one person stuck their landing. You could see that mental toughness that you've been proud of. What did you see from their performance?
Staying one person at a time and one routine at a time. Bars is a really strong event for us, and we're thrilled to have another opportunity to compete tomorrow.
We'll see you in the national championship finals. How does that sound?
Oh, incredibly exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
A small private school in Denver. The Pioneers advance to the championship session tomorrow night. Good for them.
Sophia Carter is just absolutely gorgeous. From Arkansas, this routine truly is so theatrical and belongs on the stage and is one of the most lovely routines in college gymnastics. She's here as an individual qualifier. The special pieces in this routine, I just can't stress enough how beautiful all of the nuances in this choreography is and the way she performs it to the fullest. Gorgeous stick on the pike double back. She's looked for that all season long. This really a great routine.
Lovely performance from Sophia Carter. But the big story tonight is who advances to the championship round. Oklahoma with that 197.85 will win this session. And when we come back to Fort Worth, we'll wrap this one up and set the stage for tomorrow. And the final scores are in semifinal number 2. Oklahoma with a 197.85 will win this session. And Denver advances as the second team from this session going to the championship. Let's go down to Holly. She's with KJ Kindler and Maggie Nichols.
Well, this is history being made tonight. Maggie Nichols, you become just the second gymnast since Courtney Kupets-Carter to win the all-around in back-to-back years. You have not competed due to injury in the all-around since early in the season. How were you able to pull it together in this moment?
I just been really focused in the gym, and today I just wanted to go out there and help my team and dance tonight too. I was really focused on each event, and I just tried to do my best routines for my team.
You seem like it's just super normal. It's not super normal, Maggie. You know that, right?
Yeah. I know, it's just really exciting. I just try to do my best gymnastics when I go out there and compete.
You guys had to learn some lessons tonight. What did you learn that you can take away for tomorrow for the championship?
Yeah, I think landings weren't the best. We can definitely do better. So I'm just really excited for tomorrow and see how we all unfold.
All-around champion, KJ Kindler. What do you see from this young lady day after day in the gym that lets her be this level of excellence?
First of all, what an amazing year she's had. She has had to be the best teammate around because she had to step away from being that all-around athlete and become the best support system for her teammates. And I'm so proud of her. More than more than for this, for that, because she has grown as a person because of that, and she earned it. She deserves it. We had to get creative, and we did it, and it worked out.
How much do you look at what happened tonight and look back at that and try to make corrections, or do you just move forward and look at tomorrow night?
Oh, we're moving forward. We're moving. There's a lot of things left on the floor. We can be better, so we're just moving forward to tomorrow.
Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow night. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations for the Sooners, and here is the scene for tomorrow. The championship will be determined. Oklahoma, UCLA, LSU, and Denver in the championship round. What a night of gymnastics. You know, last year they were separated by 375 ten-thousandths of a point. You're not going to want to miss the championship tomorrow night. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPNU. For Holly Rowe and Kathy Johnson-Clark, I'm Bart Connor. So long from Fort Worth. Tune in tomorrow night, ESPNU, when the title will be handed out.